All right. Now, yeah, we should have sound. Everything should be working the way it's supposed to be. I want to talk about this fight. I did not talk about it. I didn't make a prediction. I didn't talk about it at all because I was not interested in either fighter. Let me say, after the fight, I'm still not interested in either fighter. I think it's only a matter of time before they both get cut, and I don't think they'll become ranked. I don't think they'll become ranked. Okay, and we know why. We see why. We all understand what the problem is. Both fighters are horrible in the opposite way. Bleda, no striking. Even worse is her striking defense, especially by the third round. Bleda is a front runner where if she doesn't finish you, she'll be gassed in the third round, maybe even by the second. If she has struggled, has gone for takedowns, if she's wrestling, she's going to be tired by the second, third round. Just any amount of wrestling, any kind of wrestling. And that's all her fault. Nobody's forcing her to use so much energy. She just is. Even when you wrestle and grapple, you can find moments to rest. You can pace yourself even when you're wrestling and grappling. Some people are far more tense when they wrestle and grapple. And I believe that's Bleda. That tension is often what really fatigues you. Okay, and if you're tense, it's going to be exaggerated as soon as you start to get your hand on your opponent and you're wrestling with them. So Bleda, I suspect, primarily has a rookie's problem. Maybe she don't pace herself properly. Regardless of how she paces herself, she has horrible defense, striking defense. And I think it's so poor on top of her absence of striking that she'll get cut. I don't think she'll be a threat to even the top 10. I mean, I think if she becomes ranked, that'll speak to how poor the division is, the unranked division is. I think it would have to be really, really poor for that to happen. Not just the unranked, but the lower portion of the ranked division, say from 15 to 11. They would have to be poor to get their spot taken by Bleda. I don't think it takes much to stuff Bleda's takedowns. And, once you stop her wrestling or takedowns, her striking is just, what striking? She becomes a punching bag, Teresa Bleda. And the only reason she didn't get knocked out in the third round, I think, is because that girl Fernandez is so horrible of a striker. She a horrible striker. Fernandez a horrible striker. She might have power. She might be able to hit hard and kick hard. But she's not a smart striker. Or else she would have mixed up her attack. She was throwing the same punch over and over. And that's really what got her in trouble. That's what got her taken down. All Bleda did was adjust to her throwing the same punch over and over. So, yeah. That's why I didn't talk about this fight. Uh, I'm sorry, but when I see Teresa Bleda, I cannot get that spin kick out of my mind. For nothing, I can't do it. Now the UFC signed 5 bantamweights. I looked at all of them. I'm not excited about any of them. Any of them. And I don't expect to be really impressed by any of them. Okay, I'd take Jose Nunez over either 5 easily. I don't think they're ready for that. Like I said, come to bantamweight right now, until she get whooped, I'm rolling with Nunez. I'm rolling with Jose Nunez. I'm not, I like Mayra Bueno Silva a lot. She's crazy. She's maximum effort. And she fights more aggressively at 135. I know I'm not the only one that sees that. Against the bigger fighters, Mayra Bueno Silva's more aggressive. So I like what I'm seeing here. I'm entertained. Okay, there's a few bantamweights. I'm not dumping on the bantamweights. No, I'm not. Hey, Chelsea Chandler. Her style might not be crowd pleasing, or I think she has a crowd pleasing style. Aesthetically, she may not have the best form or whatever, but she's aggressive. And she tries to stop her opponents. Listen, that's all you can ask for. And that's really all that people care about. If you being aggressive and you're getting a stoppage, that's all people care about. You succeeded. And you're dangerous. You're a threat. Okay? And Nunez is gone. Chandler is a threat. She a live dog. I don't think Julia Vila, I question if she'll ever fight again. Because I don't think she can make bantamweight. I suspect she may have had a thyroid issue or something. I think she's having a rough time making bantamweight. We'll see. But even if she comes back, I think she's too invested in other things. Miesha Tate, come on. Carol Rosa, good fighter. Championship quality, I don't think so. So, yeah, I'm still rolling with Jose Nunez. It's about making predictions. I looked up all of them. I watched their fights. I'm not moved. I'm just not moved. I'm not being mean. Hey, if either one of them impress or looks impressive, I'm going to retract my statement and admit that I made a mistake and failed to observe their skill set. So we'll see about that. Yana versus Carol Rosa. The bantamweight is terrible. Not excited about the bantamweight division. Okay? I'm not going to pretend that I am. I know I wouldn't do a good job at that anyways. If I tried to sit up here and pretend like I'm excited about about fights and fighters that I'm really not excited about, no, I'm not going to do y'all like that. I'm not going to do myself like that. Yeah? Now, I'm excited about this fight, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Andrea Lee is going to pull out. I think she wants to get the impression that she wants that smoke, but she don't really want them little problems. She don't want to mess around with that little girl. Even though Silva beat up her training partner, just obliterated Victoria Leonardo. I think Andrea Lee is trying to look like a good sport, like a brave sport. And I think Andrea Lee plans on pulling out of this fight. Maybe an injury, maybe personal issues. But I'm looking forward to Andrea Lee pulling out of this fight. and Natalia being matched up against some other ranked fighter. As a matter of fact, let's prepare for Andrea Lee pulling out. Yes, I'm on to you, Andrea. I'm on to you. So after Andrea Lee pulls out, I hope they match Silva up against a higher ranked fighter. Yes. Listen, man, let's stop playing dumb. Silva is a problem for anybody. Women's MMA is not that, it's not peaked out like the men's division. Most girls are C level at everything. Let's stop playing games. Let's stop playing dumb. Most of these girls are at best C level at everything. So the girls who are above average, they really stand out. They're not looking drunk like Teresa Bleda, standing in one spot, eating shot after shot. They're not panic wrestling because they can't block a shot and they can't throw a punch. They don't have no offensive arsenal to save their life. So they panic wrestle the whole fight. Like a Teresa Bleda, where she just basically, she'll throw a few strikes, like she did in that fight. I don't think she landed one strike in that fight. No. Silva clearly stands out. She's better than Casey O'Neill. Man, please. Casey O'Neill will probably get stopped by. That's a mismatch. Y'all want to, can we get real for a minute? I think that's a mismatch. Even as game as I think Casey O'Neill is, her shots don't have nearly, she can't even come close to matching Silva's power. So no, I think she get over. Macy Barber, man, please. Yeah, I'd feel for those girls. The only girls I think she would have to be in the top 10. The top 10. But listen, she probably won't get Casey O'Neill. She probably won't get Macy Barber. When Andrea Lee pulls out, she probably have to face another unranked fighter. Shame on Andrea Lee before she even pulls out. I'm going to say shame on her for pulling out. I won't believe that Andrea Lee will go into that cage until I actually see her in the cage. Now, don't play no games with me as if I haven't predicted this. I've predicted this before. I've predicted pullouts before. I might have removed all of my videos, but those who follow me for a long time, they can vouch for me. They know my resume. I get this funny feeling. Okay, it runs down the right side of my right leg all the way down to my toes. I can't explain it. It's just a funny feeling. I know when somebody want to pull out. I know when somebody accept the fight because they want to give the impression that they won't smoke and that they are a brave fighter and that they're game. Yeah, I'm game. I'm game, UFC. You can depend on me. Yeah, I want a piece of her because what she did to my training partner. But secretly, behind closed doors, you watching that film on Natalia Silva and you're not smiling. You're not happy. You sitting there bucking your eyes, not blinking at all. You sitting there gawking at the film, thinking, what have I gotten myself into. I'm going to find a way to get out of this. So we'll see if I'm right. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm going to, in real time, congratulate and commend Andrea Lee. I'm going to do it live as the fight starts. Okay? So we'll see what happens. I'm going to take Silva over Lee. I think Silva is just too fast. Lee is a skilled fighter. Lee got good hands. And I'll expect Lee to land some shots. Silva has to get tested, especially being a fighter who holds her hands down the way that she does. She's going to get clocked doing that. She was hit by other fighters in the past, and I think she can still get hit. But I think she's just too fast and powerful for Andrea Lee. And the problem with Lee, I suspect Lee is going to want to strike. She's going to want to keep the fight standing because that's what Lee usually wants. And that's probably all she can do. You know, she might not be able to get Silva down. Silva seems strong. Teresa Bleda seems strong to me. Like if she gets her hands on you, Bleda seems strong. But she really had no success against Silva. Aside from that, I mean, she almost submitted her. I won't say that. Plus, like I said, Bleda's a front runner. She has like 50% strength by the second round, Teresa Bleda. So I don't know. We have to see. We have to see. Maybe Lee can handle her strength, and if that's the case, then hey, I'm still taking Silva. I still think she's faster. Speed kills, and I think it's going to kill Lee. We'll see. Juliana Pena is showing all the girls why she is the best promoter since Ronda Rousey. Ronda wasn't bad. She was a pretty good promoter. But she would promote herself by just being a nasty wench. You know, a real nasty, classless person. And that's all it takes. You know, Joanna picked that up. It works. There's an audience for it. Pena seems to be picking that up herself. She's starting to realize that the way to get over is to be a fighter that people would like to see lose. Because Pena knows she don't have the skill set to captivate people. She knows she's not going to stop multiple fighters in the first round in a matter of seconds like Ronda Rousey. So she's totally dependent on her mouth, on, getting people to want to see her lose. The way she's talking is the way that you talk when you want to get people to want to see you lose. Like, hey, wouldn't it be something if I lost? Listen to how I'm talking now. She calling herself the real GOAT. Okay, she's just talking mad big. And the important thing, she's gotten everybody else talking. Look at how many people have done a video about her already. Many people with huge platforms, huge MMA platforms here on YouTube have made a video about Juliana Pena. I'm sure many of you have seen many of the videos. So what does that mean? Pena's just talking. Just Pena talking. Look at how much publicity it has gotten her just from those videos. I think the Weasel did a video on her. All the videos that's on her, just of her talking, has tens of thousands of views. 40, 50, 60, 70,000 views. And this is over multiple YouTube platforms. So total, her views is, well over 100,000. Man, what about like 400,000 just from her talking? What other girl is doing that? The number of articles that have been written are endless. I'm not about to count them. What other girl's done that? And it's not like Pena's bending over backwards to get those headlines and coverage. All she did was give a simple interview with Ariel Helwani, just like everybody else has a chance to give an interview with Ariel Helwani. Jasmine Jasudavicius had an interview too. The difference is they're not interesting. Most fighters have no personality. Most of them have no real captivating personality. They have no character. They can fight. Joanna has pointed this out herself. Like, most of these girls don't have no personality. They don't have no charm. There's no wit. There's nothing funny about them. They're just boring. Flat out boring. And the worst part about it, and this even goes for the men, is they don't know how to trash talk. Which is like, I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all, man. Look, I come from a culture of trash talking. And I always thought that with fighters, trash talk come natural. Yeah, like, you cannot wait to tell somebody how bad you would whoop them if you had the opportunity. Like, you'd be detailed about. These girls don't even do that. If they were to do that, they get more publicity. And I don't think what Pena said was all that controversial. She's a fighter. I'm a warrior. Yeah. It's her confidence, man. And her willingness to say something edgy, something extreme, to not be politically correct, to say things that a lot of people would disagree with and not care what people think about what I think about myself. That's basically what she did. Put her opinion of herself out there as a matter of fact, without a care about what nobody thought about it. That's called character. Okay? And it can get you far. I mean, Pena, it wouldn't surprise me to see her do decent in pay-per-views just based on people wanting to see if she could live up to all the things that she says. That wouldn't surprise me at all. So we'll see if the UFC pushes her as the next face of the bantamweight division. If she can win the title. She got to win the title first. I would imagine she's going to fight Raquel Pennington for the belt. There's no guarantee she wins that fight. And that's the funny thing. People going to tune in. Some people going to tune in to see if she will or not. Like, okay, you've been talking a lot of smack. You the next GOAT. You the real GOAT. Let's see if you can beat Raquel Pennington. Somebody who got obliterated by Amanda Nunes. If you lose to Raquel Pennington, you may as well retire. That's the corner Pena's painting herself into. where she's going to have to retire after her first loss. He's calling himself the true GOAT. So you better not lose to anybody that lost to Nunes. Right? That go for Holly Holm too. And as soon as she does, you may as well hang it up. Because that's just going to, your stock is going to be hurt so bad. So Pena, there's a price to pay when you want to take the Ali route. You got to live up. You got to back that talk up. So I hope Pena knows what she's doing. And the thing is, she is convincing. She says that Jermaine Durandamy couldn't do that again. That she was beating Jermaine, and she was winning that fight. Pena was winning that fight. And she says she made a silly mistake and that she wouldn't make that mistake again. Okay, well, if the same fight plays out, Jermaine would be losing. Okay. And she said she made a silly mistake against Shevchenko. Okay, we'll see. Now, if you get armbarred or put to sleep again, it's a wrap. You can't claim to have learned from those mistakes. That's what Pena said. I can't remember the interview. But she said she made a few mistakes, those two mistakes. Against Jermaine, against Valentina Shevchenko. And that she learned from them and won't make them again. And that, boom, I'm the best. I beat Nunes, so I'm the best. But no. And Pena knows she can't really be seen as the queen of the division after being beaten up by Nunes for 5 rounds like that. She can't. She has to get some get back in order for her to move on and take over the division. They always see her as just a less worthy replacement. Temporary at that. Man, please. Juliana Pena would lose to Josiane Nunes. Y'all think, listen, these girls are not going to hurt Josiane Nunes. That girl is a rock. Head is a rock. She is a brick. I don't think that's Juliana. Okay? I just don't. And Juliana's playing a dangerous game. I think there's some other girls in that division that'll whoop her. Some other girls already have. So she better be careful. Already Nunes said she think Aldana would beat her. And that's an insult right there. Said Aldana would beat Juliana Pena. So this is about to get real funny. Whoever is the next bantamweight champion, the movement of the bantamweight belt is going to be entertainment, man. Because if Pena does get the belt, you know it's only temporary. Somebody is going to come slap her around real good. And if she doesn't get it, oh boy, she's going to look horrible. Talking all that smack. And couldn't even beat Raquel Pennington. Boy, oh boy. So there's a price to pay for doing all that talking. You know, you got to live up to the talk. And that's what it's about. Hey, that's your job. That's their job. To talk some smack. You know, get people talking. You're a fighter. A part of fighting is talking smack. That's what most people believe. Trash talk goes hand in hand with fighting. Most girls don't know how to trash talk, and that gets annoying. Most fighters, period. The men are the same way. Most of them, they really can't. Most of these guys, it's not real true good trash talk. They just it's aggression and venting rage. It's goofy, thoughtless. It's babble. Nothing real clever. So the clever fighters, they really stand out. Conor McGregor's, the Israel's not Israel's not clever. He's just corny. But anyways, the bantamweight division is about to get interesting because we don't know who's going to move up. Some of these girls going to move up. Aaron's already talking about it. Santos might move up. Who knows? If that division start to look really weak, yeah, somebody's going to move up. Okay? If Shevchenko gets that belt back and she manages to look invincible again, make that last fight look like a fluke, man, some of these girls are like, you know what? Never mind. I'll go to 135. Okay, but at 125, that's about to be a mess. I like the very near future is about to be entertaining in that division. And of course, that fight between Weili and Lemos is the best fight, aside from, and it might be better. It's better. It's more anticipated, at least for me. That's a crazy fight. Fantasy type fight. And I don't know what's going to happen. Listen, man, Amanda Lemos, she better not fall into this habit of hers of getting hit, absorbing a lot of shots without answering back. I can sort of see Weili spamming, high volume stuff that's not quite matched by Lemos. And then when Lemos does try to clobber Weili hop skips out the way or whatever. I don't know, but it does not look easy to stay away from Lemos. The way she moves, she's light on her feet. It does not look easy to stay away from Amanda Lemos. Especially if she's trying to get to you. So I don't know if Weili could dance circles around Lemos. But she's definitely more active. She's more active than Amanda Lemos. And Lemos can get into that. She can get into a zone where she's not answering. She's doing a bunch of blocking, bunch of looking. You saw that against Mizuki Inoue. You saw it against Mizuki Inoue. High volume fighters. I know it was 135 against Leslie Smith, but I still think that was a troublesome style that Smith used. But I don't think a strawweight could do that. Because Leslie could absorb a bunch of her shots and still keep coming forward. I don't think no strawweight is willing to get clobbered by Lemos and just keep walking forward. No. I mean, she was clobbering Leslie Smith. Leslie just got, that's the only way Leslie can win. So she has to get clobbered. That's just the way she fights. But no, I don't see that happening at strawweight. So I don't know what's going to happen in this fight. It's a dangerous fight. It's exactly the type of fight that if Weili was a boxer, her handlers would avoid this fight. Like, no. What has she proven? Who has she fought? Like, no. You would try to avoid a fight like this because it's so dangerous. For both fighters. It's super dangerous for both fighters. And either fighter, here's a crazy thing, can get knocked out or submitted at any moment. You can't say that about Shevchenko Grasso. I don't think, knocked out? I don't think Shevchenko knocking nobody out. She can tag you and stun you and, she ain't knocking nobody out. She's not really hurting you. She's not paralyzing you with no shot. I think Lemos and Wei Lee, they can crack you and hurt you, man, with one shot, man. So nah. And keep in mind that hematoma on Joanna's head, that came from a punch. That came from, a lot of times, those come from like head collisions. You know, that's evidence of high impact. So we'll see what happens. Another thing, Shevchenko might move back up to 135. If Shevchenko loses to Grasso again, she could just move up to bantamweight. So she has options, depending on how long she wants to fight and how bad another loss would devastate her. It might mess her up, mess her mind up so bad she could never fight again. Or if she did, she wouldn't be the same. But if she has a Jessica Andrade mentality and just comes back and looks the same no matter how many times she loses, she could probably go back up to bantamweight and be a problem up there. Another thing with Shevchenko and bantamweight, when Shevchenko left bantamweight, when she went from 135 to 125, for a while she was hyper aggressive with the flyweights because she was used to dealing with bigger girls. And then I think that fizzled out a little bit. Over time, she became less and less aggressive with the flyweights. And I think against Grasso, it reached its peak. She was least aggressive with Grasso. Now, in part credit to Grasso, of course. But I think that happens with some fighters. They'll come from those higher weights and they're used to being more aggressive with the big girls. And as you see, a lot of these fighters, they move up to 135 to become more aggressive, like Silva. So that might be an issue too. It seems like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Shevchenko does. Like I said, we're about to see how strong her mind is real soon. Manon has some talking to back up. So she's like Juliana Pena, the flyweight version. She's been talking a lot. Running her mouth. Manon. Say, I'm the ruler of the division. I come back, smash the whole division. Okay, well, you better. I'm going to remember you said that. We all going to remember you said that, Manon. So this is good. Listen, I'm not saying that she shouldn't have said that. I'm saying she should have said that. You know, without her saying that, I wouldn't be entertained by it. She said it, I'm entertained by it. Thank you very much. That's what I pay for. Yeah. It's just, you know, it's entertaining to me to see fighters talk. You know, fighters is willing to talk. It's an act of bravery. You know, we all look for it. We all listen out for it. You know, fighting is not the only act of bravery. If you willing to talk some smack like you the baddest chick on the block, on the roster, in the division, go ahead. I dare you. That's what we want to hear. And these fighters, y'all know that's what we want to hear. And we don't ever hear from y'all. Come on, man. You got to make this in it. You got to have fun with this. Y'all take this fighting stuff too serious. See, if I was a fighter, I'd show these dudes how to have fun. They seem boring to me. Man, I would be talking so much trash, man. Like, dude, you're garbage. You're garbage style. You ain't gonna hit nothing. You know you ain't gonna hit nothing. You ain't got no hands. You never boxed around in your life. Dude, I would be talking so much trash. Even about their strengths, dude, I would trash it as if it was trash. Islam, your wrestling is garbage, dude. You're overblown, your height. I'll show you better than I can tell you. Like with some of these fighters, It's like they took up fighting in response to being bullied, a lot of them, and then they just found out that they were good at it, they're good at fighting, but they didn't have a bully mentality, you know. So as a fighter, you know, they're good at fighting, but they're still boring. You know, they don't know how to trash talk. Even if they try, they can't do it. Because now look, I was never a bully. But I can trash talk, you know. Some people just know how to trash talk. And that part of WMMA is waiting to be cracked open. Now look, not everybody needs to trash talk. Whaley don't need to trash talk. That's another thing. You got to find your own niche. Whaley don't need to trash talk. Because, people, for whatever strange reason, they find her funny in this sort of way. Funny and interesting. That's all it's about. If you got some magic spell on the masses, hey, that's all you need. But with most people, that means they need a character, personality, a mouthpiece, which most of them don't have. Craziest thing in the world. Alexa Grasso, I don't think. She don't need no mouthpiece. But it would make her more marketable. If any of them talk the way Juliana Pena talk, man, please. If Pena is winning, all that talk will pay off. She'll be that much more marketable. That's what it does for you. That's what all that trash talk does for you. Well, talk like Juliana's talking. Like, I'm the best, I'm the GOAT. Okay, you can talk that. You better stay undefeated. But for as long as you stay undefeated, you're going to be making a good living. You know? You're that much more controversial. You proved it. You backed up your talk. That's admirable. So, hey, we'll see if anybody else make that move. I think it's funny how most girls, they don't even dare even come close to talking crazy like that. Most girls are just like, I'm going to do my best. Win or lose, this is what I love to do. They won't even, even play around with it a little bit. So look, man, Juliana Pena is a legend in that regard. As a promoter, she does not trip and stumble over a word. She's entertaining when she talks. She carries her words well. She paces herself well, puts together sentences well. Okay, she talks good enough to be an analyst. I believe she was ringside, color commentator of more than once. Okay, she speaks well, and she's clever with her talking points, with the things that she comes up with to say. She's very analytical when it comes to MMA, digging into the past, creating arguments. Okay, being convincing to the point where even if you disagree with her, you got to admit that she has the right to believe what she believes based on the argument that she created. So, yeah, noteworthy stuff. I think she deserved credit for that, because literally no other girl is self-promoting herself on Juliana Pena's level. And that's how they should be doing. And it's real simple. It's not a big deal. You want to fight somebody, show up at ringside, talk some smack, give them a thumbs down. I told you, these girls don't do nothing as it is right now. And they could do anything. You want to pick a fight. This is what I'm saying. If I was a fighter, I'd be picking fights with these dudes. I'd go to their social media and put thumbs down emojis. I'd be trolling these dudes. Like, man, let's fight. right? You boring, you're garbage, you ranked above me, you shouldn't be. You know you shouldn't be. I'm about to slap you around in this cage real quick. These dudes, look at the dudes, how they fail to promote themselves. They're just boring. Boring. I need to have a lecture to these dudes one of these days. The male fighters in the UFC and everywhere else. Male fighters who just not clever, man. You fighting, fighting, that's the ultimate form of competition. That's one-on-one. Same would be the case if I was a boxer, if I was a tennis player. If I was a tennis player, I'd talk the same type of smack. All those one-on-one competitions, sports, man, please, you could talk all kinds of smack. That's the most fun type of sport because of your opportunity to talk smack. Yeah, that's why Ali was so famous. It was because of his trash talk. The fact that he was a fighter talking trash made it that much more fun. You see, and that's why fighters who talk good trash are adored. They're adored by the public. So hopefully any and everybody steps their game up, steps their mouthpiece up. What Silva are we talking about? Oh, I was talking about Natalia Silva. Yeah, Myra. I hope Myra gets past Holly Holm, but I don't think she will. I'm gonna take Holly Holm in that fight. I see Holly Holm dancing around her, kicking her legs. I don't see Silva. I can see Silva clobbering her. But the way Silva is heavy, flat-footed, man, she a perfect match for Holly Holm's dance, leg kick style. Yeah, I don't trust that style against Holly Holm. That's one of them. She had a different opponent at first. It wasn't Holly Holm at first. Who was it? I forgot who it was. Miesha Tate. Yeah, it was Miesha Tate. Wasn't it Miesha Tate? Yeah. And then Miesha pulled out. Then she got Holly Holm. Now, Miesha was a much easier fight for Silva. But Holly stays in shape even when she's not, doesn't have a fight schedule. She stays in shape. So her age, I don't think is going to work against her. People got to remember that too. Fighters that stay in shape, their age is irrelevant. This past weekend, Jared Cannonier beat up Marvin Vettori. You got a lot of people sitting on their live streams and whatnot, butthurt, because they had to watch their brethren get beaten up, and they want to accuse Cannonier of using performance-enhancing drugs. No. You do something for a long time, you become more and more relaxed as you do it. That's one of the things that improves with a lot of fighters as they age, is their cardio, their pacing. Why wouldn't your pacing improve along with everything else that improves with experience? And every punch that Cannonier was throwing was not knockout punches. He's just heavy-handed. He wasn't putting everything behind those shots. He wasn't teeing off, winding up, putting a whole bunch of energy in. He wasn't swinging like that. He was just letting them go. That conserves energy. When you just let the punches fly naturally, you don't use that much energy. And if you're heavy-handed, those punches are still heavy, big shots. But you're conserving energy. So, but I digress. Listen, man. WMMA right now is primarily concentrated in the UFC for whatever reason. I think ONE FC is criminally underrated. Okay, those Asian fighters are super, super aggressive. I'm staying on this aggression thing because it's the only thing that hurts the women. It's the aggression. Invicta, I think, is every now and then a good fighter will come through, but it's not that often. It's not that often, and it seems too challenging for the women to be far above average. There's no way. Look, Holly Holm could even go to the ground with Silva, and I'd expect her to get back up. Holly is a big bantamweight. Okay, she fought at 145. And again, she stays in shape. So it's not going to be a problem for her. If you're 40 years old, that really only works against you if you're still fluctuating, gaining a bunch of weight between fights, the way you did in your 20s. Okay, if you stay in shape, man, please, you'd be like 45, 50 years old and still have good mobility. It's definitely possible. Look at Floyd. How old is Floyd? He's like 40, 45. 45. Does he really look that bad at it? No, he doesn't. Still faster than a lot of people, much younger. So, yeah, I'm going to take Holly Holm in that fight, but I hope Silva win. Hope she win. I don't know what she plan on doing. I can see her submitting Holly Holm, but I hope she win. We need to get Holly out of there. I've been talking about that for a long time. Holly has to go, man. She has to go. That style, we've gotten everything out of her. At this point, she's just fattening her bank account. That's cool. She will get that money, even if she's bumped down in the rankings. So I want to see her get bumped down. No disrespect, nothing personal. I'm just a paying customer. Yeah, but aside from that, there's not too much hope in that bantamweight division. That division needs help. Nunes, I don't know why she's still up here. Why haven't they removed her? Okay, she fought last weekend. That was last weekend. She's still up here. So what's going on? So I hope she... Now look at this. Once she's gone, Alexa Grasso will be the number 1 pound for pound female fighter. Oh boy. That might be why they haven't removed Amanda Nunes yet. They're not quite ready to say that yet, right? Is that what it is? That's how you got it. You may as well do it. Alexa. That is crazy. The movement of this division is crazy. I hope Nunes retires. Yeah. Listen, the bantamweight division will become interesting again if Nunes is serious. I don't think she is. I don't know what she's doing. Okay? Maybe she really does not want to fight Juliana, because Amanda Nunes was saying that she wants to defend her belt multiple times. She said that in the lead up to this fight. And then out of nowhere, retires. What is that all about? She don't know what she want to do. And she's just babbling. I don't trust people like that. You wouldn't have been saying that if you was dead serious. So don't be surprised if Nunes just comes back on a humbug. Right? Wei Lee, it's chin check time for Wei Lee. Yeah, this is the fight. I believe she would have dealt with Yan Xiaonan. Yan, no way. Yan, I don't think, would have survived that fight against Weili. Even as a striker, I don't trust Yan against Weili. Even as a striker. But definitely not on the ground. But Lemos, that's a different story. That's crazy. I don't even understand why Weili, where's her motivation coming from? What does she want to do really? What's your plan? Like, what do you want to dominate this division? You want to make multiple title defenses? That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, why? Like, why? That's like most likely impossible. But these girls, they want to try it. So I'm entertained by that. Okay? The strawweight, I don't think is as complex as flyweight, but it's still a very strong division. I don't see nobody holding on to that belt. For anybody to think that they can, I think is unrealistic. It's unrealistic. You're not making no 5 title defenses, no 6. You're not breaking no records. You're just making a few good paydays. That's all. And that's how they should look at it. It's just a good payday. That's it. Don't plan on keeping it. And if you don't make that big payday, oh well. Enjoy your career. Don't fall into depression. That's the main thing. Okay, whatever you do, because there's no reason to. Y'all live much better life than us. Don't fall into depression. Have fun. Too many fighters, they take this game too serious, man. Yeah. I'm telling you, listen, man. Some of these fighters, they fall into deep depression after fights. Deep, deep depression. I don't think you should. I don't think you should. It's just a game. At the end of the day, it's just a game. Anyway, let me get out of here and let me stop babbling. And I will see you all on the next live stream.